The cold wind howled through the empty streets of Warsaw, carrying the sharp smell of snow and old stone. Tomasz pulled his coat tighter around his thin frame as he walked up to the National Museum on Aleje Jerozolimskie. The big building looked dark and still, except for one dim light near the entrance. Tomasz worked here as a night security guard. It was a quiet job, and he liked it that way. Most nights passed without any problem, but tonight was different. As Tomasz stepped inside through the heavy wooden doors, a strange feeling crawled over his skin. Something was wrong in the silence. He shrugged it off and began his usual round. The museum was huge, filled with old paintings from Polish history and European masters. Tomasz knew the halls well. He liked to check them slowly, walking past each room so the alarms would not trip. When Tomasz reached the painting gallery, he stopped. One picture drew his eyes immediately. It was a portrait of a woman dressed in a dark green velvet dress. Her face was pale and serious. Tomasz had seen this painting every night for a year, but now it made him uneasy. He stepped closer. At first, nothing seemed unusual, just the old brushstrokes on the canvas. Then Tomasz noticed a small detail at the bottom right corner. A tiny black bird, almost hidden in the dark shadow. He was sure yesterday there was no bird there. He blinked. No, the bird was definitely new. Tomasz frowned, stepping back. The bird looked real enough, carefully painted. But why had it appeared? He asked himself if someone had sneaked inside to change the painting. Ridiculous, of course. The security system was very good. No one could get in unnoticed. He checked his watch. 2:30 a.m. The city outside was silent, snow falling lightly on the empty streets. Tomasz moved on to continue his patrol, but the bird stayed in his mind. The next night, Tomasz was tired, but he forced himself to look carefully at the painting again. He hoped he was wrong. This time, the black bird had moved. It now sat on the woman's finger. She held it gently, and her pale eyes looked at it with strange tenderness. Tomasz felt a chill run down his spine. Who had changed the painting? Or was something else happening? Tomasz stayed long in front of the picture, watching every detail. The woman's dress had a new piece of lace near the sleeve. The light around her face was softer, almost glowing. Night after night, Tomasz came back and checked. The painting changed. Slowly, almost too small to notice, it told a story no one else could see. One night the woman's lips parted, as if ready to speak. Another night, tears appeared under her eyes. Tomasz told Marek, the daytime guard, about the strange changes. Marek laughed. "You're imagining things, Tomasz. Paintings don't just change by themselves." But Tomasz knew what he saw. One night, as Tomasz watched the picture, a faint sound, like whispering, seemed to come from the walls. He rubbed his eyes. The museum was still. No one else was around. The whispering grew louder, words he could not understand but that pressed on his brain like winter cold. Tomasz almost fell. He needed fresh air. Outside, the cold night air hit his face, and he leaned against a lamppost. The city looked dead. Only one tram passed slowly, lights dim through the snowflakes. He looked back at the museum entrance. Something inside wanted to call him back. The next night, Tomasz came with a small camera. Maybe he could catch the changes on film. He set it up facing the painting and checked it one last time before leaving. In the morning, he hurried to the security office. He plugged the camera into the computer and pressed play. The video was normal for the first 10 minutes. Then Tomasz froze. The woman's face moved. Her eyes blinked slowly. The black bird flew from her finger and circled the room twice. The tears ran down her cheek like real water. Then, suddenly, the woman's face turned towards the camera. Her lips formed a single word: help. Tomasz's breath caught. The video ended. His hands shook. His mind raced. Was the painting alive? Or was it a trick of the camera or his own tiredness? He didn't know. He didn't want to know. That night, Tomasz waited. The museum felt colder than ever. He sat in front of the painting, watching. Suddenly, the room went dark. The lights flickered and then died. The alarms started to ring loudly. Tomasz ran to the control panel, but everything was dead. No cameras, no radio, nothing. He was alone in the dark, with the woman and the bird. "Help!" The voice came again, soft but clear this time. Tomasz backed away, heart hammering. He stumbled over a chair and fell to the floor. When he looked up, the woman in the painting smiled. It was a cruel, sad smile. Her eyes burnt with fire. Then the voice whispered, "Find me." Tomasz scrambled up and ran out into the cold Warsaw night. The alarm stopped as soon as he left the building. Outside, trams clattered past, people walking by unaware, their breaths visible in the icy air. Tomasz knew he could never return. Weeks passed. Tomasz did not go back to the museum. He tried to forget the strange voice, the moving face, and the black bird. But the memory haunted his dreams. One evening, Tomasz was crossing the tram tracks near the old town square. The city lights glimmered on the wet cobblestones. The air smelled faintly of old books and smoke from nearby cafes. Suddenly, someone touched his shoulder. He turned quickly. A woman stood there. Her green velvet coat was long and elegant, hair dark as night. She looked exactly like the woman in the painting. His heart stopped. "I need your help," she said quietly. Tomasz wanted to run, but his legs refused to move. "You saw me," she said, her eyes full of pain. "You freed me from my prison." Tomasz opened his mouth, but no words came. She reached out and touched his cheek. Her skin was ice cold. "For 200 years I was trapped in that painting. The artist who painted me was my killer. He caught my soul in the canvas when he murdered me. But you believed. You saw me move. Your belief gave me power." The winter night around them seemed to grow colder, deeper. "Now I am free, and someone must take my place." Tomasz felt his body growing stiff, his thoughts slowing down. The world around him began to fade like old paint. The woman smiled as Tomasz became part of the night itself, trapped forever in the shadows of Warsaw's dark streets. The next morning, museum workers found a new painting in the gallery, a portrait of a man in a security guard's uniform, his eyes full of terror. The end.